that last Wednesday. And we have Beckham through to Paramount Plus today. There will be no friends out there for 90 minutes, or maybe even 120.
Thank you, because before kick-off, a reminder that for a unique watch-along experience, you can stream Beckham and Friends on Paramount Plus with David Beckham. Here at CBS, it's time for Arsenal against
Arsenal have one of the worst tifo in football history. That tifo is worse. Bukayo Saka captaining the Arsenal squad today.
Extraordinary nights, extraordinary atmospheres for Arsenal and Atletico.
I strongly believe Atletico Madrid is getting to this one. I don't just know. I just have that feeling that it is Atletico Madrid night.
To potentially achieve history for Atletico will be their first trip to UEFA Champions League final in 10 years. Should they make it? For Arsenal, it will be their first trip in 20. The time in between the two legs could hardly have gone any better for the Gunners, winning comfortably in this building by 3-0 against Fulham. And then just last night, Manchester City drawing 3-3 with Everton sees Arsenal now with firm control of the Premier League title race, and now they can focus on the small matter of a Champions League final, a Champions League final appearance potentially on the cards for this Arsenal side who want to achieve big things in this season and are on the precipice of doing so. So let me know when we watch on this atmosphere of the teams walking up onto the pitch. What stands out to you about this second leg? Yeah, look, the conditions are a little bit different than we saw in like.
Come on, Atletico Madrid, we got this. Atletico Madrid, we got this.
At the Arsenal Stadium, United talked about it, throwing out all the stats tonight. Tonight's about getting the job done. Coming back 1-1 after leg one here. What an incredible atmosphere we're going to have tonight in this match. It was a first leg filled with all sorts of controversy, all sorts of penalty kick decisions. The two goals coming from the spot for Victor Gyökeres and Julian Alvarez as we hear the UEFA Champions League anthem on the eve of this second leg kicking off. Of this Champions League season, this venue saw this very same fixture. It was a dominant victory for Arsenal by 4 goals to 0. They will be hoping for something similar tonight.
Where is my Lookman? I want to see my Lookman, my boy. Come on, my boy Lookman. I didn't want Lookman. That's my boy.
90 minutes in second leg. We'll play 30 more and potentially.
Skelewu is playing midfield.
Who goes through? Is he
Skelewu.
11? 5 changes.
Arsenal formation. David Raya in the goal post, Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba and White, the back four. Then the midfield, Luis Skelewu and Declan Rice. Then Trossard, Eze, Saka. Eze is starting today. Then Gyökeres as their number 9. This Arsenal front is kind of scary, a little bit. Gyökeres, Saka, Eze, Trossard.
This Arsenal side among outfield players in minutes played this season. I must confess, was a bit surprised to see that Zubimendi was not restored to the starting 11 for this one as Daniel Sieber orchestrates the tossing of the coin pre-match. Bukayo Saka, where's the armband for Arsenal, and Koke.
Saka is captain Arsenal. Then Atletico Madrid, Oblak, Ugeri, Eko, Lenormand, and Mark Pitbull. Then Lookman, Koke, Llorente, Juliano, Julian Alvarez, Griezmann. Yeah, I feel like Charlotte should have started as alongside Alvarez, but I don't know why Charlotte is still on the bench. In that last match, he did not put Charlotte in. But let's see.
This match is brought to you by Qatar Airways, UEFA Champions League official partner.
Next season, Man U is here. Next season, Manchester United Champions League.
From the first 90 minutes in Spain, what will this
started.
Arsenal 1, Atletico 1 after 9 minutes of action.
Atletico, don't come and be defending for me here.
120 more.
You play these people inside.
It was Victor Gyökeres and Julian Alvarez who converted penalty kicks. Eberechi has it one another, he thought, but Van Aert disallowing an early attempt forward here from Ben White.
See Lookman, I beg. See Lookman, Lookman. I show you, yeah, Lookman.
With an energy and a joy and multiple goals,
Lookman.
which we haven't seen from Arsenal in 8 games of competitions.
This Atletico repeats this one.
Performance against Fulham has restored
They are not sitting back deep. This is how football should be. Don't sit back deep. Don't sit back deep against this evil Arsenal. This Arsenal club is evil.
They had it, as we mentioned, Trossard and Saka. Those guys came in leg 1 of this tie and made a difference in the attacking part of the field, and maybe learned a little bit from that moment. Mikel Arteta did, but certainly looked good on the weekend. Forced the pressure just a little bit different in this match tonight. Let's look at here. Surprisingly, getting Jesus Saka in the midfield will be surely contested in this middle third from both sides.
Bukayo Saka had sort of the ideal preparation for this. A goal and assist on Saturday, and also got subbed off at halftime to preserve his legs as he continues his recovery from an injury, but looked as influential as ever and as essential as ever into this Arsenal team.
Atletico Madrid are already defending.
This is really the
They're
only
already
thing they have
defending
left to play
times.
for. Basically locked into a Champions League position for next season in La Liga. They're not going to win the title. They're not going to drop out of the top 4. So they make 11 changes and still manage to beat Valencia on Saturday afternoon.
Simone is telling them come out, press them back. That's how you play this Arsenal. You press them. Do like this, press them.
Stingy but flawed at the same time. You score many more goals than you are accustomed to seeing from an Atletico side. One imagines they'll play against the ball for large portions of this second leg.
And of course, over the last month, there's been 2 focuses for this Atleti side here. It's been Copa del Rey, which they lose to Real Sociedad, and of course, Champions League, as you mentioned. It's been very easy for Cholo Simeone to make multiple substitutions on the weekend and rest some of the legs, where Mikel Arteta certainly hasn't had that opportunity with his side throughout this incredibly tight Premier League season.
Arsenal knocking it about in possession. Miles Lewis Skelling playing the role of orchestrator in that central area. Came through into the first team as a left back as that header from Trossard was given away as a throw in by Calafiori. Electing to concede the throw rather than the goal kick to keep these numbers up high.
I think we know about Calafiori. He loves to get forward, but as an attacker,
Diego Simone.
it's not always wide, right? He likes that inside channel, if you will. We saw a bit of a run there as Trossard trying to flick it on.
These Arsenal fans are loud.
Defensively, and I think that's why we might see 5 in the back oftentimes with Simeone dropping in to deal with Trossard and Calafiori.
They are loud, as in they are too loud. These Arsenal fans.
Plays off that right side. Came on at halftime to play in that right-sided role with Lenormand substituting in for then injured Julian.
I said that this Gyökeres should be a problem.
Challenge comes in.
Okay, that's Trossard. Actually, that's Trossard.
They throw in for Arsenal.
It must be said in the second half of leg 1 when Cholo Simeone did go to 3 center backs and allowed at that time to get forward. He took Julian Simeone off at halftime and Jerry to get forward as well. Gave Arsenal some fits, and of course certainly saw something he liked from there, but as we know, it's not a team that's always going to press you high. They're comfortable in a lower block here. They'll deal with this initial pressure and then drop deep and make you break them down. Here's Rice.
Gabriel
expect them to control the ball at some point.
Barcelona.
Wecke for the majority of the game last week. Where Saka came in, and him as well has done a really admirable job.
How is that a foul now? Yes. This guy is supposed to be chasing again in the first leg 4-4-4. Now you're falling again.
Time wasting. Griezmann booted the ball away after the whistle had gone.
Is it not ball they will move? Is that no ball?
That one imagines we'll see a little bit here from Atleti. They have gone away from an incredibly defensive style and at times really turning to the dark arts. They do play better football. They score tons of goals, but still somewhere in the DNA of this club and Diego Simeone is the ability to ugly up a game. Trossard. Free kick taken short. Crowd wants Rice to deliver.
Keeper.
Easy catch here for Oblak. Some contact in the back post. Calafiori went down. And the crowd appeal as they would. Nothing in it for our referee Daniel Sieber, the Sherwood official who's in charge of this one.
Yeah, not much of a protest there from Calafiori as he got up and ran back, but it was Llorente who was marking him.
Now chance for Atletico Madrid to have a bit of possession. Then Roman going back to Oblak. Challenge in the air. Well done from Giuliano Simeone who gets it.
Giuliano Simeone.
Griezmann in a good position at Rodrigo Gabriel. Early in the
Eeeeee!
and it's going to be given as a goal kick.
Julian Alvarez.
Touch it last.
A good ball over the top by Griezmann here. Trying to knock down for Simeone. Watch the run right at midfield, right at the center circle. Watch Simeone just trying to get past Declan Rice here. Saliba reads it nicely. Just enough pressure on Julian Alvarez when you see the intent, and there's the grabbing there.
Arsenal is looking for penalty again. This Arsenal, they cannot score a goal without penalty.
Just had a little bit of air underneath it, easy for Oblak to come, but certainly want to be careful.
Come on.
Saka with a challenge in from Rushetti. Arsenal have yet to lose in this Champions League season. The only team arriving to this stage unbeaten. Dominant in the league phase.
It's really amazing what they've done. Sorry, Chris, and being unbeaten in this Champions League.
Overall in the season, they've lost only twice in this building in the Premier League to Manchester United and Bournemouth. Otherwise, they've won 22 times. One victory away from tying the record for victories in one season for Arsenal. Eze helping it out for Calafiori.
Calafiori just raised the ball.
Wanted to test Oblak from that sort of range.
And again, Chris, talking about Calafiori here. Look at him. He's central right now. He's in the center circle. This is your left back. We just talked about him taking up a position that's not always in wide areas. Chances himself from distance here. Doesn't give Oblak much to think about, but continue to look at Calafiori, his positioning, and how that man there, Cholo Simeone, decides to defend it.
Arsenal had the favorable draw to this point. Leverkusen and Sporting on their way into the semi-final, but not the reward of succeeding in the league phase, being the top seed. The draw can't go in your favor. That's exactly what has happened. Now to make this second leg convert. Here's Ryan playing with Rice. White. Lewis Kelly under pressure.
That's yellow card. That's yellow card. The hands. You are putting Lewis Kelly at the midfield. You will cry. I said this thing. Immediately I saw him at the midfield. I know that you will cry because you don't know who Atletico have in that midfield.
He's trying to turn here and body off Llorente, who reads it, gets his body in between.
You don't know who Atletico back in that midfield.
Lewis Kelly here draws a foul. A bit uncomfortable there for Lewis Kelly to receive.
No matter what you show, I don't want to know who you are. Lewis Kelly is not experienced enough to play that position. I keep saying it. Lewis Kelly is not experienced enough to play the midfield against this Atletico midfield that have 4K.
Parts of the field to find angles to play this in,
Llorente in their midfield.
Deliberate, looking towards their coach as well. We saw Simeone gesticulating in the dugout. It's played short here. Griezmann thinking about it, looking down to the back post, but nobody there really. Fiori, really as far as Llorente.
Why are you taking the ball up? Calm down.
Ball shifted into Alvarez. Goes in behind.
Griezmann.
Hey!
Ball that gets him behind the back four by Alvarez. And how about David right here, reading the 6-yard box and just trying to push it away. As Griezmann gets here, it's a good read. Not much else the goalkeeper can do here. If the referee gets this one right, it comes off of Simeone there and goes out of play. Good movement that unlocked this defense of Arsenal.
Times about being shattered at various points of the season. He's been absolutely everything physically.
And so instrumental through build-up.
Lookman and Saka. Lookman will show Saka Pepe. Saka can.
So often he's the guy that starts.
Is this Saka we're talking about? So go and sleep there.
They missed the quarterfinal, now back in goal. Yellow Black. Promising there for a second.
Good movement from Anthony. Of course, the ball needs to be a little bit sharper. He doesn't get forward nearly as much as Ruggieri, but will get forward when he has the opportunity.
Fiori. Lifts the ball forward there. From Ricardo Calafiori. Let's go out for a throw. Arteta has continually talked about taking on the challenge, embracing it. Much talk throughout the season of the wait for a Premier League title. 22 years it's been. Never won the UEFA Champions League.
Prior to seeing the starting lineup today, we weren't quite sure what he was going to do.
This match is tight. It's crazy tight.
Before this match, he said, let's go for it. I think we saw that, right? He liked what he saw on the weekend. A little bit freer team, a little bit more movement up top. That's really what's going to unlock this athletic side. And he keeps playing centrally here.
This Atletico can press.
I think the messaging is clear from Mikel Arteta. A little higher pressure here from Atleti than we've seen.
Koke challenged Saka once and twice. Continue to play. Let's go chasing. Gabriel. Ryan.
Atletico Madrid is pressing. They are pressing, like they are pressing.
Facing your own goal, about 30 yards from goal, receiving it and having to play it back. I think you feel good. Atleti side, you've got the spacing right, you've got the pressure right.
Atletico have faced Champions League heartbreak down the years. Reached the final 3 times. Lost all of them really in agonizing fashion. Back in 1974, the Bayern Munich gave up a goal in the 120th minute.
the corner. What am I feeling weird about this corner?
In the Premier League this season, 3 in Europe. Gyökeres making himself a nuisance. The referee will come over and chat to him. To Trossard and Giuliano Simeone. Lifted in from Rice with plenty of air. Faria Saka the back opening up.
They play rubbish. Total rubbish. That's why I say this Saka. That ball is something that it's not by force to play. You know that you cannot play that ball. You stop it. Calm me down. You grab the ball.
Looking around, that needs to be his responsibility, and Saka just couldn't figure out what to do. Put it on goal, maybe knock it across, and he nailed it. He got it all wrong. Here's White.
Saliba. Saka teases Ruggieri into the challenge and does well to win the deflection for White. Trossard. Leandro Trossard.
Little space centrally here to build through. Blue jerseys.
Run well spotted and Saka low delivery.
Hey!
Gyökeres was close. Lewis Skelly only manages to control Gabriel.
Hey!
Flashing wide, but it's still poured nicely.
What a good build-up.
That pass to Saka was amazing. Ben White to Saka.
A move by Saka to come back that Ruggieri bites with, and it's Griezmann here making a play. Arsenal love that. Griezmann defending in those areas the entire game, spending his time there. Real is left, doesn't miss by much here, and of course we saw the rain coming down here, so this type of shot could give the goalkeeper a little bit of an issue. At least giving Oblak something to think about.
It is Arsenal though in control of this second leg in the early goings. Good challenge in there from Koke.
See again, the collect ball is holding leg. I say that guy,
It's an essential part of this midfield.
Lookman again. Why are you losing this ball?
Ball is played behind it, but Hansko is there to cover.
You mentioned Koke over 700 games. I wonder how many plays he's broken up in his career.
Lookman, you need to be on your best form.
Seriously, right? You think
This
about
match is not La Liga match. You need to be on your best form because I don't understand what you are
his
playing.
entire career is nothing about as good as anybody. Throughout a career, 17 years at the club. Incredible what he's done.
Simeone is on the pitch to wave his team on. Controlled here by Fumila. Who's nominally the right back, but will take very few chances to get forward as he does there. Hansko, the Slovakian defender, ahead of the season for Feyenoord. Rice stepping in ahead of Alvarez, but not enough contact on him. Alvarez, a player who's been linked to Arsenal in the summer. Even Diego Simeone addressing that rumor. You can understand why, he said. He's a brilliant player. Shown in key moments, particularly in this Champions League, Alvarez.
Does a good job of drawing foul there. I'm not sure there's much in it, but that ball gets picked off. Arsenal's off to the races.
With the challenge well there, Pubil playing for Ruggeri. Now Adamola Lookman, who had great chances in the first leg. Couldn't put them away.
What kind of pass is this now?
He just let it run. And Raya will get rid.
This Gyökeres is now to hold ball.
He's been criticized, but he's showing well there to go earlier to win the corner. Victor Gyökeres. Still he plays, but then runs into Saka. Neither player really knew what the other wanted to do. They just awkwardly
They want to dribble. Big boots, Timberland want to dribble. Red Timberland, they want to dribble.
Holding the ball up, good layoff. See here.
Red Timberland, they want to dribble.
Back heel.
I think I Red Timberland, they want to dribble.
Right, just let him go 1v1. This is not your forte. Let him go. You get in the box. You saw Saka in leg 1. You saw him on the weekend. Wasn't he left on skates? Raul Jimenez. Heard Thierry Henry in the pregame talking about
22 minutes into the game now.
This is the Saka we want.
And the scoreline is still 0-0. 1-1 in aggregate.
It's a poor decision by Gyökeres after.
Look man, nice sense. Ole get your, if you give one, you got this one. Hey, look man, keep this ball close to your feet. You need to watch your man. I miss your man. This kind of situation, you go don't cry. Arsenal go don't cry.
And I get an opportunity, maybe trying to do a little bit too much, but in leg 1 he was more involved. Go back to the Barcelona match where he was a key figure in that one for the way that Diego Simeone set this Atleti side up. So much success. It's a tough ball.
Right through the middle. Didn't really have a target. Lifting wide, and Pubil was never going to get to it. Calafiori does, and now there's space. Griezmann sprinting back to cover.
Come on, hey!
He's gone beyond him though. Rice in the area. Declan Rice with the comeback, and Llorente else away. But a lovely individual cameo on that far side for Declan Rice.
Conversation from Griezmann with the rest of his side here as he's looking for a little bit of help. Mistimes a slide tackle here. Declan Rice has all the time in the world to lay this one off. And it's Marcus Llorente once again breaking this up, but a nice run from Declan Rice. Once again, Griezmann defending in his third of the field here. Anytime Arsenal sees
corner
that,
kick
you know,
again.
they've got good positioning, good runners.
I don't know, I'm always feeling somehow if Arsenal want to play corner kick.
Rice with the corner taken short.
The short corner.
Scored from a short corner against Newcastle in the Premier League. This one is now into Lewis Skelly as well with his positioning. Lewis Skelly across the face of goal, and no one there to respond. Gyökeres the closest, now Gabriel to keep it in play. White. Saliba lifting in, and that one over the head of everyone, but Lewis Skelly found
Playing for Atletico. That Lewis Kelly chance. Jesus. There's nobody to tap it
He
to.
gets to the line here and just trying to play it off centrally here. Really hard to see if maybe it hits off a defender. Looks like Olaf may have got a fingertip to it. Didn't change the direction much. I think he's looking for any possibility to steer that one towards goal, even if it's off a defender. Chris, just something to keep in mind here as we move forward. I was watching Lenormand and Gabriel. They're having a wrestling match, and it's Lenormand is really, really handsy on all of these restarts.
That's foul on Lickman.
This match.
something to bookmark.
Arsenal have 3 attempts. Atletico have 2.
Semi-final so far. 3 penalties given in the first leg. 2 of them were actually taken, the third disallowed. No block.
Why do you always give him look Lookman is short. This Lookman recent form in the Champions League, I don't understand. We did it against Barca, and Barca is harder than this club. Though Arsenal defense is harder than that one.
These are the two sides that have played the most games in Europe's top competition without winning it.
Don't be foul now. This is a just a fall. Yeah, just a blow.
There's a ton of contact, but enough in the judgment of the referee. Central in towards Jokeres, who tried to lay it off into Trossard, well defended. And Colque finding the outlet wide here with Giuliano Simeone. Griezmann. Ademola Lookman. Antoine Griezmann will be his final Champions League match before departing to Major League Soccer in the summer. Still chasing, does get a piece of the clearance. Kubil, an initial touch, slides in. Fiore is given as a free kick. Fiore has signaled that he got stepped on there as well.
Good defending all around by Calafiori to give and go. Stays with his runner. Makes the second play here, draws a foul. That's the end result there. You see the clip.
Hey!
Talked a lot about it during the first leg, but it is a completely different kind of semi-final to the Bayern.
Bayern here is now go beyond the end, like pop out. This one I don't see defending. Come outside and play ball. Allow goes to enter.
No question about it. In a lot of ways, more enthralling. Of course, everyone loves to see goals, but we said at the end of last week's match, right, there's not one way to win a football match. Right, Arsenal's been going about it sort of this way the entire season. Atletico's been going about it this way for quite some time. Yeah, of course, they're a little bit more open this year. There's no question about that.
Yeah, Atletico on the run.
Far side is Calafiori on the ground. Now Llorente isolated with Gabriel. Lifted towards Ademola Lookman, but it's too much power on that delivery.
Alvarez should be
to
gone.
play out the other side. In some ways, these tight games make each individual moment more important. But to concede, they might not find a way back.
Every call, every decision by the referee, every pass you make, every time you try to take a risk, sometimes the reward is not there for you. And I think in the two matchups, this and the other semifinal, Bayern PSG, we've gotten exactly what we thought we were going to get.
Lookman, I don't like the way he's playing. I don't like the way he's playing at all. Now he's already charging himself back.
Really difficult to find any rhythm in this match so far.
Looked like playing to the middle on risk, which somehow finds Colque. Eze was closest. Alvarez. Tricky feet there. Kubil now getting forward.
Hey! Yeah, give on! Lookman, if he get to the ball.
Llorente was offside.
Llorente was offside.
Dangerous pass or a risky pass from Oblak through the midfield. Good movement by Julian Alvarez to find some space, and I'm not quite sure Ben White here at the bottom of the screen. Had he scored, I think there would have been a discussion about this one. Either way, called offside, no goal here to talk about, but really good movement going forward. And Julian Alvarez loves to drop into that midfield and unbalance the midfield, but that does mean you have to get runners in forward areas. That's what we've seen. Again, Chris, I don't know about you, but it didn't look like that one was offside from that angle.
fair bit of talk in the build-up to this one about where Atletico are staying. Switched hotels from the last time they visited North London back in October. Diego Simeone joking, it's because this one was cheaper. And then they found themselves with fireworks being set off outside the hotel at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sure if they stayed in the expensive hotel or the cheaper one, there were going to be fireworks.
Might as well save a few bucks. Isolated with Hutchko, keeps it, holding for the moment, we play on. There is a throw into Atleti.
What they've done here is throw on the outside backside, left side Ruggieri, on the other side
Ruggieri,
and they've allowed
nice defense. He's one that defends good
Gilchrist to
players.
go and deal with the outside center back. In this case it was Hutchko. They feel comfortable in those duels. You see that ball just rolled in. Should be an easy one for him to hold up.
Calafiori. Well received and well kept with Rice. White into Saka. Those two combine so well on that right side. Calafiori closed down by Antoine Griezmann. Putting in a shift. Saliba. Miles Lewis-Skelly. One nervy moment in distribution, but has otherwise been up for the occasion. A 19-year-old. Gabriel now directing traffic. Giving back to Lewis-Skelly. White. Thought about the early delivery. Does now hit one to the back post. Two are there. Trossard comes from behind. Calafiori. And Gabriel will lift in, deflects on its way through an Oblak, eventually controlling it and starting a break. Lovely first touch there from Griezmann. Alvarez just sort of died in the air and its way towards
Alvarez, those one touch.
Yeah, sure did. He's a little bit turned around. Gets his footing, able to make the play. We talked about Eze coming in leg one in that second half, and he found some space.
Saka have not completed any dribble. Saka have not completed any dribble so far. And Lookman have completed dribble. I said this Saka.
Throughout that match, as they came in, found more space here, but doesn't have his foot on the ball all that much today. He's dropping here a little bit deeper.
Most people in the stadium have not yet found their seats. Can't imagine they will for the lion's share of the second leg. Trossard turning.
This Trossard does a turn like a bono soup.
Once he escaped on.
Yeah!
Nothing for Griezmann, nothing here for the referee. He will appeal, the crowd will appeal. Eze. Carried there by a couple. Declan Rice, it deflects and Oblak has to scramble. It will be given as a corner.
It's good sustained pressure here. Trossard getting on.
Come on. Don't be fouled.
Not much in that one. Feels a little bit of
This Arsenal, they mad go. I don't still give up penalty.
shoulder, just the arm on the shoulder.
Ah! Arsenal!
He's in perfect position.
Oh, now does they find penalty like this?
So the referee confirms.
Nothing. The relives there. Nothing in that one. And the referee.
Arsenal does they find penalty.
So here is the effort from Rice. Right off the chest of Hutchko. First chance for Saka to deliver a corner in the final 10 minutes of this first half.
10 minutes of normal time remaining
Goalless. The tie remains
in the
level.
first half.
Spot in the final on the line. A lot of wrestling, a lot of contact. Gilchrist and Rubil. Saka does eventually take short. Eze. Saka. Into the deep for Declan Rice.
Nice defense.
He also tried that short one a few times. Yeah, I don't mind the wrestling, and both players
It's around football they are playing. Atletico can defend. Hey God, Arsenal can defend.
You run the risk, right, of giving the referee an option, and Gyökeres and Linderman going to have a conversation here. Referee's going to try and calm things down, but anytime you're defending a restart and you're not looking at the ball, now you're inviting the referee to make some type of decision.
Expected a kickoff inside this ground. Which probably sees in front of it now one of the biggest games played inside of it. The entire race and a position in the Champions League final secured in this building in the next few weeks. Eza drifting, nearly found its way through. Koke was tripped. Free kick you. Talking with members of staff.
Okay, here we talked about his experience.
This is a yellow card now. This is a yellow card foul.
Touch from Calafiori. I like the position Calafiori's taken up today. He's getting high up the field. It doesn't have to be wide. As we talked about, he's allowing Trossard to do that deal with Giuliano Simeone.
Calafiori arrives at Arsenal, having largely played at centre back for Bologna. There, he looks almost like a number 10. Every player on this side expected to play a variety of roles and create a variety of looks. Trossard among them. Arsenal arriving to this stage of the season about as healthy as they've been all year. Mikel Merino really dealing with a long-term problem as his injury in timber. Here's Lookman playing that second.
Lookman again, lost pass.
Gyökeres now with Trossard. And Gyökeres making a strong run beyond it into that penalty area. Victor Gyökeres.
No touch Amo. That's a big guy, bro. Come on. Now go to John.
Chest bump there for Giuliano Simeone. They locked up Gyökeres there.
I think Griezmann wants this defending on his goal line here. Of course, we always see Simeone doing this, but end up winning a goal kick here, and you can see the excitement from Griezmann. Probably not the part of the field that he wants to touch the ball the most in those areas, but he's been asked to do that a few times. It clearance a little bit earlier on the soccer cross. Doing his work defensively. Can he get a reward on the attacking side of things? His first 40 minutes here in this match, and again, talking about him not being engaged, the opportunities that he's had, he's spoiled it just a bit. Someone that Atleti is really going to need to get his foot on the ball here and make things happen in the attacking third. Rice looks ahead of him, trying to find a way through. First touch always so deliberate. That's exactly where he's going with the ball. Declan Rice. Saliba struggling for an angle, and he's nearly given it away there to Roget. It is off the Italian fullback blast. The entire left side of this Atletico system, having last played at Atalanta. Lookman joined in January. Roget arriving in the summer. On the Italian side. Rice scanning over both shoulders, and he carried forward. Saliba.
Arsenal playing that side, Sha.
Yeah, we talked about the weekend and this lineup that Mikel Arteta's put out. It's all about movement underneath Gyökeres from those three. We saw it there. We haven't seen a bunch of it so far today.
Giuliano Simeone was offside here. And a little bit of afters with Calafiori. Shove it there. The crowd appreciated it. Can't imagine as Giuliano Simeone plays in more and more of these big games that'll be terribly well liked by opposition fans, but I don't think he particularly cares.
He's one of those players right, never stops. He's always biting at your heels, always trying to run in behind you. There's balls like that that are played over the top. He's always going to be the guy pressuring you from behind.
Calafiori. Trossard. Lifted in towards that penalty area, away from Lenormand. As closed down and a deflection that Alvarez goes chasing. Saliba. Big run and a fine bounce in his favor.
Not sure if he let it run on purpose or that ball checked up either way. It felt penalties. It looked like another 4 or 5 steps. And Alvarez may have had a beat on that one.
Hasn't been that gilt-edged chance as yet. As a
He should be meant to injured, you know, I don't understand.
Saliba. Lewis Skelly. Bukayo Saka. Show both directions. Will also take the same option. Keep the possession moving. As he does with Gabriel and now Saliba. Back out to this right side with Ben White. Saka challenging from Boucher. Enough contact to put him off. Gabriel will have to come back and play. Raya was going to come almost to halfway.
Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more cutting edge, right? In that final third of the field. We knew shots and shots on goal would be difficult to come by. I don't know what we expected. Or no shots on goal for either side.
Gyökeres making the run behind. Oblak is out. Gyökeres gets turned. Gyökeres lifting to the back post. And Trossard deliberates. Trossard! Save from the
Arsenal have scored. Arsenal have scored.
breakthrough in the second leg.
Saka.
On the stroke of halftime. He's back fit. And he's back as the star man for Arsenal, Bukayo Saka. Oh, how they missed him. And he might just have sent Arsenal a giant step closer to the UEFA Champions League final.
Well, it only took one shot on target. We just talked about it. Bukayo Saka, right place, right time. How about the work from Gyökeres and then the patience from Trossard and a little bit of luck for that man there. Saka, as it bounces kindly to him, a really good save by Oblak down to his left. Can't do much more with it. Gyökeres with a run in behind here. Does a good job here, doesn't rush, realizes where Oblak is, has time to look up. Deflected ball to Trossard. And then you'll see a save here. And there's Saka onside as Ruggieri falls asleep.
He's onside, he's not
Doesn't
offside.
know much about it. But on contact here from Trossard, goes to relay here. Good save by Oblak. Nothing he can do here. There's a deflection in that one as well. Saka, the quickest to react to put Arsenal up just before the break.
Oblak keeping up this rebound that allows Saka to follow in. And the celebrations commencing in that dugout. Arsenal scoring.
See how Arsenal is pressing.
in the first leg and
They know they got to go.
in the second. They have the lead now. What will they do with it? Do they keep attacking and try to add to their lead, or will Atletico have to make the game? We've had 1 minute added at the end of the first half. The joy is radiating through
match is brought to you by Lay's. UEFA Champions League official partners.
Geico helps tailor your coverage to fit your business and bottom line.
Well, Arsenal,
How good does it feel to save on your commercials?
Arsenal is scoring.
With Geico.
As good as having a great hammer.
You can't touch this. Hammer time. It feels good to get your savings on.
He's very helpful.
It feels good to Geico. Can't touch this.
Yeah, Banger's on the move. Cuts inside. He's hands towards the box. He shoots.
Well, we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
Alright, you're all set.
Thanks, Ted.
Oh, check it out.
Oh, man. I think he's gonna do it.
This might be a good moment to share.
Mom, you seeing this?
Hey, baby, I'm here. Is he gonna dunk it?
No.
Action matters. It has to be AT&T. Bro, no charge call?
Your defense is trying to
Get home internet from AT&T. Now available across the nation.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, the match is actually boring, but it's interesting. It's Champions League. Arsenal, how do you do it? Arsenal scored, and it's painful. It's really painful. It's really painful that Arsenal could get the goal. It's painful. Arsenal, how? Atletico Madrid turn up now, turn up in the second leg. Atletico Madrid, you need to turn up in the second leg. You need to turn up. Because this thing happening. It must not happen in the second half. I say second leg. You need to find a way to score. Because Arsenal have scored you like this. And they are very good at defending. So it will be hard. Arsenal qualify, it will pay me. Oh my God. Look, man, you have wasted a lot of opportunities. I do not understand. Bring in Solot now. This man should bring in Solot. I have hope in this Solot. Solot will be able to change the game. But it's not just fast. That's just the issue with Solot. Solot is not just fast. What do you think about the second leg? You people should let me know. What do you think about the second leg? What do you guys think about the second leg? I want to know what you think about the second leg. Sorry, second half. Why did I keep saying second leg? It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm weak. How could you do such a thing? Atletico Madrid. How? Convert your chances. See chances. No, don't play with this. Is Champions League. You don't play with your chances like that. You convert it. See your coach. God. Arsenal chances have been more scary than Atletico. Have been more scary. Like, I'm just confused and weak and everything. I'm just confused, weak, and everything presently is happening. see, and I warned you in my preview, watch this bastard, this Saka of a ball. I say Saka, Gyökeres. I told you watch out for Gyökeres. Gyökeres can be very demonic. He can be very demonic. Watch out for this guy. See, and I warned you, watch this bastard, this Saka of a ball. I say Saka, Gyökeres. I told you watch out for Gyökeres. Gyökeres can be very demonic. Watch out for this guy. I'm weak. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm weak. The second half will start soon. Man, let me know what you feel in the comment section. How do you feel this match will go in the second half? Let me hear your opinion. The second half is about to start. Do you think Atletico Madrid will come back good, or do you think Arsenal is going to score more? It's a really crazy match. On a happen. It's a really crazy match. The second half is about to start. Saka just in the right position at the right time. I was even thinking it's offside, but when I watched it the replay, the brother wasn't offside. second half is about starting. Tomorrow we'll also be streaming PSG. Bayern PSG. Bayern is at home. When are they going to start the second leg like this? I'll be second half. It's the second half I'm waiting for. Now the second half is here.
In 2 decades, Ricardo Saka is the man that has them a goal to the good. As things stand, there's still 45 minutes left to play in the second leg. Tony Viola and Atletico would have loved to go to halftime. They held on for most of the first half, but they conceded the goal. One changes now.
up his sleeve in the second half of that game. What does he unlock? I still think the onus is on Lookman to get involved in this match. He really hasn't been. In the moments that he had the ball in his feet, he was not good with it. If you're Arsenal, I don't think you change much. You can give up a shot on target. You got yourself a goal. You need to be a little bit sharper in the attacking third, but I don't think you go and change any of the tactics. A lot of control of the ball as well as the second half is underway. Here's Alvarez. Nearly losing out, does lose out. Second to Gyökeres, couldn't quite control it. Fired into him at real pace. 68% of the ball in that first half for Arsenal. Atleti have to start throwing numbers forward and trying to attack. Richer. Back now for Lookman. First these sorts of positions towards Alvarez. Received well. Kobiel stepping forward and lifting, and Lookman is in there. This was Llorente, but away from Saliba. Like teammates collided there, Llorente and Lookman.
This Gyökeres supposed to be using body. One at the liver.
Free kick is awarded.
He will just be using body for you people.
He's been really strong in holding up play. This one he draws a foul. He knows the area, the field he's in. You can see him. He's getting his eyeballs on Lenormand. Doesn't have an arm wrapped around, but now feels the pressure. Now goes down, draws a foul in his half of the field. He can go and set up. Really nice shot by Gyökeres here. As I mentioned, there's been a few moments like this that he has seen where he's been able to get his body between the ball and his defender. Free kick awarded as Saka was in an offside position. Diego Simeone will assess these first few minutes and think about what changes might be needed. Arsenal at times made these games nervy. At the weekend they won by 3 goals to 0, but before that had only won or played in 1-goal games. It was all very tight, it was all very nervy. Then all of a sudden there was a level of expression and freedom about the performance of the weekend, which the fans really enjoyed. See how they approach it. Kobiel again stepping forward. Kobiel again trying to look to the
Why are you playing like? You see what I'm saying? No solots that can jump and run. You need to bring solots in. These solots.
Sides unchanged.
They're just crossing the ball inside. There's no header. I'm frustrated. I'm fuming.
Atleti too often in the game. Completely turned now. It is now Arsenal on there.
See the Arsenal is defending it. Oh!
Their visitors to find a way through. Griezmann, there's an awkward ball, and Rice steps to intercepts. Now opens up the play with Trossard, who's in all sorts of room. Lovely turn, with the ball in the shirt there from Llorente. Some fans want a yellow card, and perhaps justifiably so. The referee's been consistent with the way that he's called this. There's certainly a foul here. We've seen yellow cards for this match, but I think he's made a decision here that he doesn't want to get involved in this game all that much. He doesn't want it to be about him. And of course, in leg one, we saw so many refereeing decisions made and so many decisions to be made. I mean, we saw early when Griezmann pushed that ball away after the whistle was blown away that the referee handled that one. I think
Atletico, you need to be careful. Arsenal is mad people. They can increase this lead to 2. So you need to be very careful.
Griezmann. All sorts of room here for White on this right side for the free kick. Lifts a good cross in. It was free right there for Saliba, but it was over him. Gabriel appeals for a penalty, but none forthcoming. He's sliced away for a throw now for Atleti. Again, this has been a game about grabbing and holding and pushing and letting them on here when you're not looking at the ball. You're going to have a decision now a little bit, put a little bit more pressure, put Arsenal a little bit deeper when they have the ball. A similar change we saw in the second half of leg 2.
Atletico Madrid have not seen shot on target.
We're seeing it again here in leg 2.
Lifted forward from Koke. It's awkward. And it comes for Giuliano. Who's there?
Ah!
Challenge from Gabriel. Just enough contact to play.
Jesus! The penalty has corner! Jesus! That was an equalizing moment. Why are you looking for penalty, Milano?
Play that could change the face of this game. Onside on the run here. A bad touch here by Saliba.
Why pitch once? Why are you controlling?
Make the play here without Simeone. On this touch, I thought he knocks it in. It's like Simeone actually knocks it out here, maybe.
This is a penalty.
Doesn't look like Gabriel touches the ball here. Does get Simeone's leg, but curious why he didn't touch it on the first when he had an open net.
Incorrectly given corner, lifted into the heart of that area, punched away from Ryan.
Check over.
Pubia follows Pubia. This effort is wild. The hearts would have been in mouth.
This Simeone.
Simeone was in behind that defense.
You don't need to control.
Plays, we go back to 45th minute here.
You have already beat the keeper. Why pretend here? Why are you controlling the ball? Why are you controlling it?
Did save on the initial one. That Saka here.
It's only your approach now.
What a moment for Arsenal. Simeone, I think, would be kicking himself that as that ball came down on his left foot, he didn't just side foot it in. He tried to take one more touch, tried to draw a foul here. Gabriel did just enough to throw the attacker off.
Pubia running it out of play. It's been a bigger attacking presence than we might have expected. Where we joined from the second division side out of Mania ahead of the season.
I don't know why he's looking for penalty. He must look for penalty. This is why they say mature player is needed in this Champions League. I don't need all those small boys. Small boys cannot do this champion.
Challenging and does well to get it back.
Nice ball. Give it back now.
And so Griezmann in towards Lookman, cutting inside of Williams, well to get to the ground and poke it away. Llorente turning it into Trossard.
Griezmann really did so far today, just locking up, looking, breaking up every play. Another really good intervention. Jokic here's been involved in all these wrestling matches. Go back to match day 3, the moment he had when he came in and he hadn't scored in 9 matches, and then he gets the 2 goals in that match. We thought that would unlock his season. It's been a terrible season. I think Arsenal fans, because they were so yearning for a number 9, expected a lot more, but it's really hard to argue with the work that he does.
Boucher, purposeful first touch inside. Griezmann came it away again to Rice, and now this counter looks promising. Long busting run forward. Declan Rice. Might have wanted himself, gets to Gyökeres instead. Blocked by Llorente. And it comes for Griezmann now to go down the other way. This game is finally.
Why is Griezmann jogging? I don't understand. Maybe all these boys, they don't know the nature of the game they are playing. You hold ball, they counter you.
Griezmann now cooking.
They are jogging back. The ball get to you back, they are jogging.
And it was Rice who won the ball.
I trust my Rashford the shot. The way we sprint there.
Simeone helped it behind for Pubia. Couldn't find that ball in towards Antoine Griezmann. It looked there. Just not the right angle on the pass. Confione getting forward. Gyökeres. Play now towards that corner. Lenormand. Lovely return ball for Confione. Confione just left it there for Hansko. Didn't really make a decision at the key moment.
It's free kick against
The
Gabriel.
referee was allowing it to continue to go here. David Raya saying down to his near post. That had a little bit of a dip on it, and I think this is where the foul is.
Ah, is that foul?
As we know, in today's game, they let the plays continue. There may have been a foul there on Calafiori. Had there not been the initial call. Once again, referee having a really good day. Daniel Siebert, our German referee in charge of this one, he continues to consult with Bastian Denker, the VAR. There is Griezmann skipping through.
Ah!
I think that would have been given as a penalty. I thought that he had given it earlier. Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the referee is calling the first foul, but of course they're going to have a look at this one. So the referee is chatting there with Enzo Griezmann. That's probably exactly.
Hey, Charlotte is in. Bring Charlotte. I don't know what you are doing since.
That is Nahuel Molina. See for
Molina, you need all those striker instincts. All those players that they know is to hear anything. I used to play like Haaland. They are using. What do you do? Hey, you have looked Lukman. Lukman have not been in this game. I give Griezmann to that win.
Now here comes a double change for Arsenal. Capier and Madrid will enter, and it is Calafiori who nearly just gave away a penalty. Who will come off? I would imagine Bukayo Saka is not yet 90 minutes fit. It's actually going to be Essex withdrawn.
Odegaard.
Odegaard as well will enter, so triple changes made by both teams. And Saka will indeed.
Saka out. Well, they need them for
coming in. And right now
Premier
Saka
League.
has the goal that would send Arsenal to the Champions League final.
Well, he had the impact in the game. I didn't think he was 90 minutes fit. Certainly made his mark here.
So after that penalty foul incident was cleared, it is Odegaard who will get the armband as a subtotal of 6 changes made in one go here. Sorloth joining that forward area. Looks like Alvarez might move out wide. Is Luis Scalia's foul?
Yeah, it seems that way. We mentioned Lutman really didn't get involved in the game. It looks like Alvarez will do that work. Johnny getting involved here early in this one.
If it was Charlotte that is in that Williano situation, he's good.
This looks fluid here from Arsenal in the build-up. And Wickay. And left now, Martin Odegaard to strike. Sent that one over. A lovely passage and build-up play from the Gunners.
That would have been here for Odegaard. Just stepping onto the pitch. Steering on Frank. Good opportunity. You talked about the movement here in this play.
Saka, Calafiori and Eze is out for Arsenal.
Operation of the players. And
Mbappe, Madueke and Odegaard is in. See, so Charlotte first touch is bad.
Was unable to control big number 9. Played in England for Crystal Palace, but has really found a comfortable home in Spain. Scored quite a few goals from the bench for Sorloth. As Gyökeres, Oblak will come out and claim ahead of him. Was bumped into by the big Swede. And Gyökeres scarcely believe that's given against him.
Well, there's no questioning the work rate for Gyökeres, right? He does so much with and without the ball. He's always battling for all of these moments here. And see why he's probably a little bit confused now. He gets called for a foul in the end, just running into the goalkeeper. He will put the effort in.
He suggestion.
See a solo tenter now.
Sorloth into Griezmann. Pumping off one challenge, an awkward deflection from the shot for Saliba to clear. Only as far as Llorente. Koke. Molina. Nearly scored from the center circle of the weekend against Valencia. I haven't seen that shot that rattled the crossbar. Go find it on social media. It was an extraordinary strike. The World Cup winner with Argentina. Goes all the way back to the athletic goalkeeper. Hanchko. Johnny Cardoso, the U.S. international, will now feature in both legs of a Champions League semi-final. Only the fourth American to play in a Champions League semi-final. Joining DeMarcus Beasley, Tyler Adams, and Christian Pulisic as the U.S. internationals on that list. Gyökeres wrestling there with Pubil, who has to go to the ground to lift that one away.
Now for me, that's why this Gyökeres was a complaint. You dey play ball, you dey fight like saying against you, you dey play.
Towards Gyökeres, pulling on the shoulders there once and twice.
Is that a foul? Why are you complaining?
Played off of Pubil, it will be a throw to Arsenal. Time is slowly running out. It's going to actually be a throw to Atleti. Time is running out though for Atletico to get some forward momentum. That chance for Giuliano Simeone might be a regret. Rushedi. Johnny Cardoso. Alvarez back for Johnny. Good job on there for Llorente. Handled it well. Gets it back for Molina. Llorente. Another fantastic challenge in from Rice. Llorente goes chasing and Trossard lifts away.
Every occasion he's been asked to make a play. It's been incredible the work that he's done in this. Like we were expecting his Diana here is going to come in. You wonder if it's for Koke and allow Johnny just to do that work in the middle of the field as he draws a foul here. A really dangerous area.
Still a chance for Atletico to get numbers forward. Maybe that's a cross in, and there is Alex Baena. Not yet coming on.
Sorloth on now. Maybe you go to two forwards. I don't think you take Alvarez off. Maybe Griezmann.
There were fitness issues with Alvarez. They might see him.
Yeah. That need to
You know if you come out Griezmann again like this, so.
Came off in that first leg with an ankle problem. Julian Alvarez, such a key player. Griezmann will lift the cross in. Away from Saliba. Second ball now. Molina. Alvarez. Two Argentines combining. All the way back to halfway. Here's Koke. Alvarez. Lovely pass into Alvarez. Well found. He goes early. This is catching practice for Ryan. Rolled out for Declan Rice to start yet another move forward. So much of the game has gone through him.
Gyökeres made a really good run that Alvarez thought about for a second.
Trossard now with heels on the shock of the touchline. Spreading this Atleti shape wide.
so much work as the game gets stretched here. Really good movement. Again, Trossard, the catalyst of so many of these plays. We talked about Calafiori in the first half. Now Capia here in the second half, getting his opportunity. And what a moment for Gyökeres as he does the right thing with the instep inside of the foot. And Mikel Arteta trying to play it in himself here, but boy, just gets it all wrong here. He understands exactly what you were talking about. This could have been the moment that puts them in a Champions League final. The way the game is playing out, there might be another moment for Gyökeres to do it and get it done.
They have removed Griezmann and Alvarez.
Incredible movement from Arsenal. Just can't finish it off.
And it's Griezmann and Alvarez.
I'm not sure if the remaining players can do
As it
anything.
stands, that is the final time we'll see Antoine Griezmann in the UEFA Champions League for Atletico.
So with those two substitutions, what you likely will see is Baena and Almada, Thiago Almada, playing underneath Sorloth.
Is Almada, the former Atlanta United man, comes on as the person who needs to turn this around. And in some ways, with Griezmann off the pitch, this is sort of reflective of the next generation of players who have been brought in to carry the attack now on the pitch in Baena. Almada joined in the summer to sort of turn over a new leaf for Atletico. Griezmann can only watch now as he hopes his teammates turn this around. He can play one more Champions League game in Budapest in a few weeks. Right now Arsenal have a free kick. Even as Atleti have chased the game, have looked more likely to get a second. Lewis Skelly blocked the idea. Trossard ran out of room. Still fantastic vision there for the teenager.
Yeah, that's a great ball played in. Just needed another yard or two to stretch this field.
Atleti now committed to playing out. Molina up onto Sorloth. Challenge to the referee, telling him to get up. Trossard turning the other way, finding exactly the right pass for Declan Rice.
And the referee's been really consistent with those types of plays.
Now Atletico with fresh legs thrown on. They're going running, but that opens up spaces. Lewis Skelly finding one of them. Trossard. Run forward for Piero Incapie. Wrestling there with Kubil. Did well to get across and now controls. Llorente. Molina, that's a dangerous ball given away. Ben White takes it in. Sends that one up to
This Alvarez and Griezmann are the Simone.
Now with Molina. There will be more chances as this Atleti side opens things up, and you can't just give chances away to an Arsenal side that can punish you. Try and build out of the back here, and again, really good pressure from Arsenal. Those are the types of plays that get the stadium energized. Your fans involved. You can feel it right now if you're an Arsenal fan. You can smell it, you can taste it. 20 minutes to go to find yourself in a Champions League final. That's what this team was built for. There's still going to be some work to do here. What a moment for Arsenal fans.
Give all sorts of credit to Arteta and his team for how they've rebounded after that defeat to Manchester City in the Premier League. Looked as though they've given away control of the Premier League. Now they've won back-to-back games domestically and on their way to a final, but they have to see it through to the end. Llorente goes early. Gabriel wins and Raya will catch. And this is when the Arsenal from the first half of the season looks like it's coming to the fore. It looks so difficult to find any kind of gaps. So difficult to break down.
So good for
Trossard, who gets it back to Gyökeres, who tries to let it down, but it went out for Beal on its way out. Now comes the corner. Going to be difficult for Atleti to slow the Londoners down from here. Comes over to take. Rice into the heart of that area. Well, one. Hunchko, and now Madweke. Rides the challenge on. He plays. Lifting it, crossing, and just sliced through it. He was bumped there. He felt he was fouled. And now Martin Zubimendi will be next to enter. Perhaps the surprise exclusion for the starting 11 today. But Skelly always held his own. The referee will ask for the goal kick to be retaken. Skelly is on the ground to allow Zubimendi the time to complete getting ready to enter this one. The reminder, tomorrow 3 p.m. Eastern Time at CBS and Paramount Plus, the second leg of an absolute thriller of a semi-final between Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain. We go to Munich with PSG leading by 5 goals to 4. You can watch live on CBS and Paramount Plus. A watch-along experience with David Beckham and Friends is also available on Paramount Plus. Lewis Skelly getting the crowd going. He very much is one of their own. Academy product.
Obviously a like-for-like positionally here. You mentioned it may be a bit of a surprise from Mikel Arteta, but one that has certainly paid off. There was one moment in the first half, you talked about a deterrent in the midfield that gets picked off, but outside of that, did the job Mikel Arteta wanted him to do. I think what Zubimendi gives you is a little bit more possession, a little calmer on the ball.
Thumping header, one there from Gabriel. It's just not going to be easy for Atleti. Going direct, playing in possession. Arsenal look back to their suffocating defensive units.
Yeah, I was going to say a little higher press here from Arsenal than we saw maybe earlier in this match, just making it difficult for Atleti, essentially saying if you're going to break us down, you're going to have to do it for 100 yards here. It's not going to be easy.
Space look there for Baena to run into. He's still fouled ahead of White. Baena deflects off of White. Will be a set-piece opportunity now for Atletico. Needs something to go their way, and they'll take this corner in front of their traveling Press for Lyon before moving to Atleti. For Botafogo as well. Boucher. Almada in space. Let's pick up the right pass. Almada lifting it so long. A lot of contact there from Gabriel. But Raya always the favorite to get there first.
Yeah, I think Raya here catches his teammate Gabriel. As he puts this ball out here. The players just going up and battling for this ball. Yeah, you can see the knee to the side of the head.
Inside this stadium. Looked into the badge. And Weke. Arsenal would love another. The party would well and truly be on from then. And Weke. All dealt with there by Boucher. Saliba. Positioned well to win it back. Dispossessed. Ayena lost it as well. And Weke around Boucher. Challenges coming in. Able to really find any rhythm. Ayena somehow kept it in. Tries to turn again. Trossard. He's got it back cleanly. Cross deflects. Just it back from Hanchko. Heeds the warnings and All Black can finally settle things. So he wants to go quickly. Running beyond Saliba, but Frenchman well in the way. They haven't built that rhythm. Chance creation mechanism. It's really Arsenal for controlling. Ball there from Subimendi. And Weke. Odegaard. Go back the other way and take the cross and Black out.
Stand up! This people to a ball now. Which kind of keeper is this so black?
Does a really good job. Yeah, there's different ways to kill off games, right? We talk about it all the time. You sit back, you defend, you make it difficult, or you try and go for the killer goal here. That's what we've seen from Arsenal, but that will stretch you a little bit.
Cardoso wide for Sorloth. Thinks about it. Turns the other way. Gives to Ayena. Sorloth will want to be in the middle. White well placed. Saliba. Now Atleti starting to exert some pressure, at least in positioning. Arsenal sitting deeper. Llorente lifting and crossing away from Gabriel. Llorente lifting into the back post, Raya with a touch. Boucher couldn't get there quickly enough. And Weke and Hanchko had to win it back. Ayena, Sorloth flicking, Llorente striking. Tame enough for Raya to deal with down to his left.
I think Trossard did just enough here. As the ball's won by Hanchko, good play at the top of the box here. Sorloth with a flick. Looked like it was more for Koke. Slight deflection that goes to the goalkeeper.
Gyökeres is right side there. Pubil, the referee, whistle to lips. It's going to be a corner and it's yellow for Mark Pubil. And there will be real appeals here that this is a denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity and that Pubil should go. A big pull of the shirt there.
The thing I wonder, does he call the foul here? Is this the one he's calling and then allowing a little bit of an advantage here? But again, work rate. Victor Gyökeres, incredible today. He's been in a few wrestling matches here throughout the game, and man, has he won just about every single one of them.
Diego Simeone screaming towards his team. He just doesn't have very much control from his position.
Going to transmit to the players what he's feeling, what they have up their sleeve here, right? We know how good Arsenal's been. Restarts all year. Seems more of a left-footed, bending in behind that back line of Atleti is the right choice, but in these areas, right, it's oftentimes they have to draw something up because the angles aren't great.
Started the first leg without come on, but Arteta made a fair few changes between the first and the second leg. When we did the first leg, it felt like that was the team. That was the best team, and yet less than a week later, 5 changes, and realistically, most of them have paid off. Trossard, fantastic, the former Brighton man.
Well, the 3 that started this match underneath Gyökeres were the 3 that came on as substitutes in leg 1. The 3 that are ending this match are the 3 that started in leg 1.
Madueke slipped in towards Odegaard. Koke covered well. There's a defensive touch there, not a back pass. Ancho. Llorente. Gabriel turning back and Koke. Captain to the side. Furthest one forward. Still running everything out. Gyökeres unable to control. It's off of Martinelli. Trying to keep it in play, but instead, it's a throw deep in the Arsenal half. Emotions running high, as you might expect. Martinelli has it back. And flicks beyond Llorente with a pressured leg. Llorente went to ground. It is another Arsenal corner. So effectively seeing out this result, Arsenal tonight in the second half.
For the most part, they're seeing it out with the ball, right? So you can sit back and you can defend and you can be difficult to break down, but you're given the opportunity to your opposition to break you down. They're doing it here more with the ball. Clock just continues to tick. You talked about emotions. I'm sure if you gave this scenario May 5th, you'd be up 1-0 in the 85th minute to try and get to a Champions League final. These fans would have been your arm off to take it. Of course, it's going to be tense.
Rice with the arm up, delivered to the back post. Gabriel is there, he got his header down, but just bumped at the last minute. Just put him off.
Gabriel's been the target at the back post the entire season. Once again, just pull that one off.
Sorloth trying to get it to Zubimendi, who's there first. Lifted it towards Gyökeres. Just putting that defender off, allowed that chance for Martinelli. Fire forward into Baena, who's in a good area. Baena and Sorloth scuffed him but can still play it. Sorloth gave it away to White. Well, that looked a real chance. What a forward pass to Hanchko to start the move. White just lifting forward, and now Hanchko put it back into Yellow Black. It was well created, and Sorloth Just couldn't catch it. Rice. Odegaard. And Bayern. Koke Harry. Has to get turned to get back to the goalkeeper. Another long ball forward. Big challenge in there from Sorloth right through the back of Gabriel.
He's so low, he's supposed to have been I'm like tired, weak.
Champions League final now. They're
Ilago.
scuffed effort from Gyökeres. Or from Sorloth, excuse me.
It was a good ball played forward. Good ball laid across the Sorloth. Just couldn't get it right. Couldn't get his ankles right. Didn't calibrate it right. It's painful right now to watch.
Forward from Kubil. Sorloth has to control. Nice first touch of Molina. Sprinting forward. Comes back for Alexander Sorloth.
Sorloth no just get speed.
Spots the run of Almada. Will have to control. And does ahead of Incapie. Nearly fell for Llorente there, but lifted to safety. 2.5 minutes left in the 90. Arsenal so close. Everyone is on their feet. Cheering every challenge. That one too much in it. Johnny Cardoso foul. This is all Atletico have left to play for. Their fate in La Liga is sealed. As Champions League qualifiers for next season. This was the special thing this team could do. As Antoine Griezmann exits the club in the summer. As an era turns over. Kubil and Llorente. Almada. Koke. Working from side to side, looking for the spaces. Llorente with Bayern short. Wants it back again and gets it back again. Bayern, given room. Bayern has a strike. Bayern got underneath it. It looked tempting, but he might have done better to keep playing.
Certainly tempting for Bayern as he gets on his right foot here, but look at the distance he's at. It's going to take a lot to beat David Raya. From that angle, would have been something special. Still a sigh of relief. Right as you see that thing travel over the bar, you're an Arsenal fan. Pain on the other side if you're an Atleti fan. Is there one more moment here for Atleti, or will Arsenal kill this thing off?
In full voice, a release of tension and stress. That's Arsenal fans. They want to win the Premier League first, but why not go with the Champions League too? We're on the doorstep of the final. Odegaard returning from Martinelli and Llorente covered. Atleti have to get out. They have to attack. Sorloth helping to release. Keta is screaming. A lot of contact on this near side. Gabriel. Whistle for the foul. 5 minutes for Arsenal to hang on at the end of the 90. 5 more minutes. So many waiting down the tunnel. So many waiting throughout this stadium for the full-time whistle to go. Job done so far. Courtesy of the goal from Bukayo Saka. But still work left to do. Rice lifting forward. Gyökeres is threatening and Kubil gives away a throw. Not sure why Atletico wants to rush it. He just has too much delay of nerves. He's just so desperate for it. Everyone at this club is.
That's what this team was built for, right? To compete on all fronts.
Tackle going in.
Still staying high with the going to make it difficult off the throw-in here.
Cardoso with advantage, given Hansko has to get this pass right. Fire towards Rusciani. Koke with purpose. Lifts it towards Molina. Left and try to throw Buda. It gets right in Capia. Koke. The traveling Atleti support would have been hoping this was their time in the Champions League. They've come ever so close. They've lost to their in-city rivals twice. They've come so far, Atletico. They've reached the Champions League in 13 consecutive seasons, and they only previously made it 8 times before Diego Simeone arrived at the club and completely transformed it. Simeone will now get booked.
He's just frustrated here with what he perceives as time wasting. The referee,
Popped in the air from Zubimendi. Sorloth. Arteta is running the ball out down the touchline. Molina. And now Arteta is going to get booked as well. Both managers taking their yellow cards. Sorloth flicking it out, but to no one in particular. Rice forward to Borgoldo. Zubimendi up to a second time in Capia. Scoreline over the head of Simeone. Right now it's the Arsenal to the final and Atletico out of the competition. Can it change in the final minute? Up forward from Zubimendi and Llorente. Won by Ben White. Rusciani will have to get turned. He'll hook it forward, but there's just no way of playing. They look like they've run out of ideas, Atletico. They're pushing the back there. Martinelli. Koke wants to get on with it. He throws the ball away.
They may have run out of ideas, and I think it's down to the fact that Arsenal haven't given them anything to think about. Right? They have been incredible defensively organized. Mikel Arteta's pushed all the right buttons. They just got to see this thing out here.
Yellow shown to Koke. It's a Calafiori who's on the bench. And he already been substituted out of the game. Throw it down the line. Another throw it now. Everyone in the Arsenal setup wants full time. And now a little bit of a shoving match here. Diego Simeone going back towards his dugout. Pointing towards a member of staff for Arsenal, Calafiori. He's sent back as well.
He's got to be smart here. He just picked up the yellow card.
Picks up a red. It might be a suspension for the fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's got to be smart.
Baena down the line will still play off of Sorloth into the